Former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Ernest Ayite, is questioning the sustainability of the free senior high school program, considering the magnitude of resources needed to fund it. According to him, government's 1.2 billion cedi budgetary allocation for the program is woefully inadequate for its continuity. He was speaking at the Graphic Business Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting on quality education. Deputy Education Minister Dr. Yao Educhum at the same event explained government's rationale for channeling resources into the program.
As part of our curricular reforms, we are also looking at establishing a national assessment. So the students in Primary 2 nationwide will be assessed in English and Mathematics, Primary 4, Primary 6, so that you have a time to really look at what is going on at Chebidi Primary School and be able to know whether the school is doing well or not and what we can do to turn it around. So we have then to begin to look at intervention, and we run away from this chew-pour, pass and forget syndrome, which I call it chew-pour, fail and forget, because the vast majority of students don't pass on the WASI. When they memorize, they don't. So we have to move away from it and have students seated in classroom just like we're seated here, and have them dialogue with their peers and begin to look at the 21st century way of educating our children with peer collaboration, critical thinking taking place in the classroom, because students can voice their opinions. I've done some unannounced visits to schools. I go into the classroom, I talk to students, and they're excited even to hear about my background and what I've done in America. And since the case, every one of them wants to go to America anyway. So they get excited when they know that, oh, you build schools in America, wow. Everything I say, they will punctuate it with wow. And after I finish, I ask them, any questions? No hand is up. No hand. And that is when I see that there's something wrong. So as we look at sustainable ways of funding education, I also will venture to say that the best way of funding education is to fund it on things that are critical, on things that can really improve the learning culture in the schools after you guarantee access, and make sure that the very people that you are educating are the ones who are going to help improve the economy in such a way that you not then begin to worry too much about funding for education, because the innovative ways of doing things and the creativity they bring to the fore to improve productivity in industry is what will improve our economy. And when the economy improves, 4% is a lot of money. 4% of the GDP becomes a lot of money. When the economy improves, 5% of GDP becomes a lot of money. And then you're able to really look at how do you develop your education system, how do you sustain it.
Professor Ayite, however, says government must channel its energy into equipping the public schools and accept offers for partial funding to make it more sustainable.
Many of the challenges faced in the schools have arisen not because there's no room to go to or classroom to go to. They've arisen because we have not spent enough money on those classrooms to equip them. So whether they are in very good schools like Achimota or in bad schools like Yachipram, so as the Deputy Minister was saying, I'm quoting the Deputy Minister on this. So whether they are in these schools, Achimota or Yachipram, so the kind of equipment needed for the future, for the transformation, is not there. It's not there. So you have a situation where even your elite schools are poorly resourced. What it is leading to, that there is a new dichotomy between the public schools, including the best ones, and the private schools like Mr. Titi Ofe's school. I'm worried about the gap that is emerging in Ghana. We are in a Ghana where, depending on the choices you make, your children have an advantage. So the solution is, let's fix the public schools, all of them, from the best to the worst. Let's fix them. And you can fix them by spending more on these schools. When I looked at the budget statement, it provided for 1.1 billion, 1.3 billion to support free SHS for 2018. We've done our own calculations, looking at the budgets of schools. To maintain the status quo, we need 3.3 billion cedis. not to 1.3. We need 3.3 billion, putting aside the teachers' salaries and so on. So we are looking at the goods and services provided, feeding the kids, maintaining classrooms, providing security and so on. We need 3.3 billion. It's not going to come from the budget next year. Because the only way you can put it in there is to deny other parts of the economy the revenues required. Of course, parents have to contribute. I know that the GES is averse to parents' contribution. By telling parents, don't make any contribution through fees, you are putting aside 60% of all that they need to make those schools run. For what reason? I haven't seen around the world any school, boarding school, where you go to for free. I haven't seen it, except in Ghana today. How do you tell somebody, go to Wesley Girls, go to Infantipum, eat 3 times a day, but don't pay anything? I'm worried about that. I am concerned that in our haste to provide a free SHS, we are not taking into account all the principles that we should be. There's nothing wrong with taking from the rich to pay for the poor. There's nothing wrong with it. The Bible even supports that. So where parents can afford it, let us do it. So my suggestion is we need to target. It should be possible for us to categorize schools depending on their endowment. There are schools that are well endowed and those that are not well endowed. It's possible to target them.